I lost $1,600 day trading NASDAQ. Let me show you my trades. Okay, so let me show you.
We're going to go over his trade. I really like his trade, his thesis, but losing is part of the game.
Bouncing off this support level right here. So I was looking to go long, all right, and I went long right here, all right. We had this nice rejection, and I was looking for the market to give me at least maybe to that left shoulder right there, and I got stopped out. It is what it is. Then we had another rejection right here. I went long, and guess what? Got stopped out again. Guys, that's the name of the game. Sometimes you are not going to win, but guess what? Tomorrow is a new day. You always have to remember that, okay? Follow your rules and be okay with the losses. Let's get it.
Okay, so let's talk about that trade. He was playing NASDAQ futures and reviewing the video. He was able to get a time, a day. So let's get right into that trade. Here we go. Now, Day Trading Addict is someone I respect, one of the OGs in the trading community, and just an incredible trader. But I went ahead and analyzed this trade. We have to go all the way back to Monday, May 1st, and we saw the time circa 9 o'clock. Now, there are a couple of things that I want to look at. Now, we have this chart here. This chart is showing you your levels. Now, our chart at Trade 1348 provide your levels automatically. So there's really no thought into this. However, he was playing at the right level. I think he missed the level down here, as it wasn't mentioned. Now, this is not his fault. This could be his time of entry, looking to make, take that bullish momentum. But I really think that this could have been missed. Now, this is just another example of two traders having the same thesis, possibly with a different entry, more importantly, with a different exit. Now, I teach my community that your exit's more important than your entry. Let me show you. All right, going back to the chart here, we do have two levels here, and I want to show you basically an entry if we would have took it here above the break of this level of support and or resistance. And that entry, this exit, 26 points. Not bad. Honestly, not bad. 26 points. Now, if we would have entered off the lower level, we would have had 42.25 points. Now, this isn't an argument of which trade gets the best percentages. This is an argument of where the exit would have been that would have prevented the loss. And of course, obviously, we have the exit here. Again, our charts print these levels for you. More importantly, I look for confluence in my indicators. Now, we didn't see the indicators on the chart. I'm not sure if that was just because he wanted to remove the noise from the chart and just really illustrate where he lost, right? But if it was me in this point of time, there are a couple of things I'm looking for. So going back to this trade, we do have our, we do have three levels here, right? And let's look at our indicators. Now, my first progression in my read is using the MACD. Now, these are not your standard MACD settings. I would challenge you all to change your settings to 24 on your fast lane, 52 on your slow lane, and your signal smoothing to 18, okay? This is essentially double of everything that you see by default, right? Typically with 12, 26, and 9, right? So we smooth this out a little bit, and what we can see is at this point here, we begin to see a shift in momentum as MACD begins to get weaker. More importantly, and this is something that I teach my traders, we see an RSI break above its moving average. Now we're contending with this level, which we see price action consolidate against. Now guys, this is why he chose this level. He saw the consolidation. It was there. Again, our chart had printed it out already, so you sort of kind of saw it. So in this situation, you could have taken a trade up to a level, had been profitable, and waited for a candle break to re-enter and exit here. Now, I mean, hindsight's 2020, of course. Hindsight's 2020. But when you trade with the system will oftentimes have you trade exactly the same every single time, right? Going back to the chart, we could also see not only do we have confluence in the momentum with the MACD and RSI, what gave me confidence on the break of this level was one, a transfer of momentum. We go from bearish to bullish. Also, RSI maintained above its moving average, which was telling me we have bullish momentum. Now, we have something called the thigh gap indicator. And the thigh gap indicator also reads the shift in momentum, but where we get maximum confluence in this trade, where you know it's go time, is when we have MACD reading bullish, RSI reading bullish. Our thigh gap indicator is reading bullish now, as we're seeing solid blue bars being printed. Also, we have the parabolic SAR candles. Now, what you see here is Heikin-Ashi candles versus the typical candlestick, right? But what we're also doing is measuring momentum. So, should the entry had been down at this level with your risk at 13,285.25, that is your risk, you could have rode your momentum and literally just rode it with the indicators as it found confluence. So now this is the trade here, right? This is the trade. Now, I always say what's more important than the entry is the exit. Now, where do we find our exit? Now, I want to zoom in a little bit here. What you also see here is what we call the traffic light indicator. This also alerts us to momentum, right? And so again, we're seeing price action and momentum just shift in favor of our thesis until it doesn't. We hit a level here. Of course, we see the wick. We know that that level exists there. And then what do? We see RSI pitch down aggressively. This is your first clue. We also then see the reversal signal happening here, right? And then by the time we get here, you could see we are weakening with the MACD. RSI is broken below its moving average. We have confirmation on this reversal signal, and then we have parabolic SAR also saying, hey, we're losing momentum. Now, the way I trade is I trade in between levels, and I trade momentum inside of levels. It keeps me from being in the trade for too long, and what it forces me to do is secure the bag in steps. I stair step my profit, and if we go back to the chart here, as you can see, should I have entered here, I would have taken the profit at that level. I would have then re-entered on the candle break, which would have been identified by this traffic light here. I then would have turned one trade into two, played it right up to a level, and that would have been a profitable trade. Now, I don't want anyone to think of this as an attack against his trading or his thesis. Winning and losing is part of the game. But more importantly, this is an opportunity, and I'm sure it's something he did as well, where he opened up his journal and he said, this is where I messed up. Because this trade, a losing trade, your losing trades, are great teaching moments and great lessons to be learned from and to get better from. That's why one of the most important things you could do as a trader is journal. You learn from your mistake. Losing is part of the game. I'm sure $1,600 was not a lot of money to him. Again, you have your risk to reward, as he was highlighting in his videos. So I'm not completely mad. However, having a system and then looking for confluence through your indicators and having a rule-based system would have allowed you to secure profits on this trade. I'd rather take a small profit than take a large loss. That's the way I trade. Anyways, hope you guys learned something. This is Gabe, signing out. Peace.